Hey there guys, Jared here, aka Sergeant Siage, back in here with another video. And today I'm going to go over some of the pickups here that I had in June and July here. I only had one pickup in June total, so that's an easy one to go over. And then my pickups here that I went over in July here to kind of gauge a little bit of like some final thoughts, some final ratings here and stuff like that. One that I feel like I don't really need more time with to kind of give my final thoughts on here, because it's actually performed pretty good here, and I think the performance can only get better as time goes along here too. But let's go over the June release, which I got, which was Armoff's Club de Nuit Precious here. Now, you can see I took the little medallion off because I was getting annoyed by it. But all in all, I think I stand by what I said here in my initial rating here. I think this is one that probably would get talked about a little bit more if Supremacy's Collector's Edition wasn't around. I think because of Supremacy's Collector's Edition being a little bit more mass appealing than this, I think it gets a little bit more attention. But I think for like a special occasions wear and stuff like that, I think this would be a better suited thing for something like that. To me, this is good stuff, good juice. The only suggestion that I would really make for Armoff, now that this has been out for well over a year now, I personally would just, slap this in a 105 ml bottle, like your normal, Club de Nuits, and charge 65, 70 bucks for it, because I think people would snatch it up a little bit more than here. The 55 ml bottle, I really like the bottle actually, but I just can't, for like 45 bucks here for 55 ml. I think it's a good price for the juice that's in here. But I think more people would be more inclined to buy it if it was just, either 100 ml or 105 ml for $65 to $70 here, which I think would be a good price here too. It's kind of in line with like their limited edition Parfum and stuff like that here too, and their new Extreme, which might be I don't know if it's a replacement to that, or if they're just replacing the original Parfum with Club de Nuit Extreme. I have no idea, but I think originally I gave this a 9. I think I'd stick to that 9, maybe bump it up to a 9.25. This stuff is really good juice here, and it has good projection and longevity. It didn't need to sit and macerate for any of that, but I think my batch is actually from like last year to begin with anyways. Yeah, my batch is from November of 2024, so it didn't need time to sit and like macerate or anything. Maybe a week after you spray it, but that's about it. So we'll stick to that rating, 9.25, right in there. That's good here. Next, we'll do the Khalas's Muharib, which I believe I initially gave an 8.5 out of 5. Obviously, this smells a little bit like, mostly you're going to get Sauvage out of this here. Sauvage, to me, it's like sort of the Sauvage EDP. It doesn't quite have like the star anise note that has like that spiciness, but it does have some nutmeg in here. So I do think here this has more nuances. I know a lot of some people say that this is like Bleu de Chanel mixed with Sauvage, mixed with Aventus, but mostly Sauvage with sprinkles of the other two in here. I mostly get, your Aventus and your Sauvage. Not a whole lot of Bleu de Chanel going on in here or anything like that. All in all, I think it's a good scent. It has decent longevity, but this is a Ambroxan heavy fragrance. So if you don't like that blue shower jelly style of feel to your fragrance, get it 8 to 9 hours with this here, which is good, but I think my initial rating was an 8.5 out of 10. I think I'd probably stick to that 8.5 out of 10 with this here stuff. For the price point, you're not going to beat it. I think I paid like 25 bucks, 27 bucks for this or something like that, but price point to longevity to easy wearability and stuff, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Seems fine, seems good, but it's just not exciting, none the least here. Next up here, similar style of DNA here, but this seems a little bit more, I don't want to say a little bit more refined, but it does seem a little bit more refined to me here, which is Urban Man Elixir, Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. I gave this the same rating here, an 8.5 out of 10 here. However, this is where like we as like a fragrance influencer or a fragrance enthusiast kind of, I think, complicate things here whenever it comes to just like everyday wear, where we want to wear something that's a little bit more unique and stuff like that. I think that this is, of course, we get visited by the fly again here. I'm recording a bunch of videos at once here, so if you've seen the fly in the last 2 Dumont videos, that's kind of why. But for me, this has pulled in a ton of compliments here for like the 4 times that I've gotten the actually wear this out. And while I was testing it, it even got some compliments while I was just, you know, had a spritz on my hand or something to test it out throughout the day around some family members and stuff like that. So I think we complicate things a little bit too much here, and this stuff is just really good. It has good longevity. I'm getting like 9 to 10 hours usually of longevity with this stuff, and I think I would bump it up to a 9. I think I would just bump it up to a 9, because if I had to say to somebody here, hey man, you got like $30 to spend on the fragrance, you need to go out and buy one that's going to be just like an everyday wear that you can wear anywhere, pull compliments, you know, not be super offensive or anything like that, you know, I could suggest them this, and they're going to be a-okay here for at least a few months here. So if it's their only fragrance in their collection, so I'd bump it up to a 9. That stuff is really good. The one that I wanted to talk about here that I thought I would need a little bit more time with is Kadlaj Shiaka Shadow. I believe I gave this like an 8.825 whenever I initially sprayed this, but I did say that I think that's a little bit unfair because I think it needs a little bit of time to macerate. I think I'd be willing to bump it up to an 8.5 here. I think the scent profile is at least unique enough to where like nobody else is going to smell like this around you, but it's just something that this does not you know, scream out to me or anything like that as unique, where obviously this is, you know, Bad Boy Cobalt, you know, in a bottle. Haven't really gotten my nose yet on Bad Boy Cobalt yet, but so I can't really judge it compared to that. But I did get decent longevity on skin and decent projection here for the first like hour and a half that it was on skin, and I'm getting about 8 to 9 hours ish of longevity total with this stuff. So I'd bump it up to an 8.5. I think it's fine. I still think it's in like the tier 2 ish releases of like Middle Eastern releases, maybe like the upper echelon of tier 2. I think it's like not in the top 10, but still maybe in the, like the top 15. So there you go there here. So, and then lastly here, the one that got the highest rating, which was Club de Nuit Intense Man Extrait de Parfum, and this stuff is just fantastic. I wish I could go back and just like, I know like the opening to this is still, actually the opening to this has gotten a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I'd bump this up to a 9.75. This stuff is good. Like anytime that you get an extrait that does exactly what an extrait should, it should project, it should last long. Like this is just doing everything that like the EDT and the EDP does, but it's just ramped up to like 11 or 12 on the radar. So anytime that you get something like that, I think it's fantastic, and I don't really have anything bad to say about this. So that's kind of why I think maybe I should give it a perfect 10, but I'm going to give it a 9.75 just because whenever I initially got it, the opening was a little bit off, but now maybe my nose is adjusting to it or whatever have you, but this stuff is fantastic. Like I'm probably going to buy another bottle of this. I don't know if you can really see, but I've probably gone, you know, I'm probably down to like here on this stuff right now. So I've used it quite a bit in the little over a month that I've had it. So yeah, seems really good to me, and might be like, I think the two contenders right now for like Middle Eastern releases that I've gotten my nose on this year so far, like I want to get Rift's Memento. I know that one's a pretty highly touted one for Arabian Tatanka. But this and Nitro Elixir are like the two front runners because they're just versatility beasts and perform like X-Straits should and have no issues and versatility or whatever have you. But that's going to wrap it up here for the video. I don't want to make this video too long. We'll do the fragrance rotation here. I think that's the next thing that I'm going to record actually right after this. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Maybe it'll come out before. I have no idea. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.